Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind. 5, 10 lives.
Minisode. Welcome to the Deadlights podcast mini. I'm your host, Mini Sam.
And I'm your Mini Leslie. Bring me your mini podcast.
And also we have Mini Tim.
Mini Tim.
Tiny Tim. Oh, not Tiny Tim. Not Tiny
P.T.
Tim.
Barnum is
Different one.
hit
Different
I
one.
have
ass.
always been told you can pick your own nose, but you can't pick your friends' noses.
You
And
can
let me
pick your
tell
nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
That is how that saying goes.
Yes.
But
But
I just poked
you
it.
just did. And
We're still here.
We're still here.
We're still here. Must be good friends.
Good friend.
Great friends.
The
Good.
best friend.
My best friend.
'Cause
So,
yeah.
You're my best
Anyway.
so
friend.
today
Yes.
it is Tim, we love you.
I love y'all too.
And that's why you're here on the second season's first time that we get to rate the last 10 movies that we just watched.
Incredible.
Every 10th Minisode episode, we will then rate the last 10 episodes or movies that we watched.
Mhm. You're not gonna rate your own episodes, Scott.
Not our own episode.
Yeah.
Our commentary, I don't want to listen to that.
Woo!
But the movies we will talk about for sure.
Mhm.
And quite honestly, tough one. I don't know right now at this moment what I'm gonna do.
So you're just
I-
rambling, buying some time.
I am buying time right now. I'm
Yeah.
trying to go through the list in my head,
Okay.
1 through 10. It's tough. Leslie, do you even know?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going based off just the feeling and the watchability of it.
like
Because
just-
there's so many.
I
Of
just
them.
looked at this list, like really looked at this list, and dang, we actually watched some really good movies.
We did.
We watched some really good movies in this first 10 episodes. We also watched some garbage movies.
We did.
Hey.
or
Also-
a garbage movie.
My question for you, Tim,
Yes.
because you weren't here for all of them.
Right. I was.
So, have you seen a lot of?
Talk about
This
any of
list.
these movies that you've seen to buy us time while we
Okay.
think of ours.
Well, I saw the movie called Brimstone with Guy Pearce and Dakota Fanning.
Oh, you've seen that?
I've seen it, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember
Ooh.
that Guy Pearce was scary as a blue jay on a barbed wire fence.
Mhm.
That's not saying, but it
It translates.
yeah, if you knew what I meant, then that doesn't matter. It's fine. I remember I was creeped out. I remember it was like, poor Dakota Fanning, holy absolute shit. That's a
Mm.
lot of stuff you got to endure. And Guy Pearce had to be the one to do it. And I remember Kit Harington, Jon Snow,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
was in it. And he looked exactly the same and acted exactly the same as Jon Snow did from
Uh-huh.
the clips I've seen. And I hope that's enough vamping time.
That was definitely
No, yeah.
a, like, at least for me, surprising movie. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
know what to expect when we went into it. And then when we
Mhm.
watched it, I was like, damn, like this movie, there's a lot going on. It is a heavy ass movie. That was probably of this the 10 movies that we just watched, the heaviest movie of them all, like dealing with abuse, child abuse, sexual abuse, like incestuous, like really, it was
it was
lot.
awful.
It was a really good movie, but it was heavy.
Is it in your top 3?
Well, Leslie, let's get to our third of the list of top 3. Here we go. Number 3. Do you want me to start or do you want to go? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Number 3. What you got?
I mean, creepy enough. It is Brimstone.
Brimstone.
Ooh,
Number
It is
3.
Brimstone because I will never watch this film again. So
Fair.
watchability, not great. Because we're dealing with a lot of hard concepts, but it was so well fucking done that I remember scoring it really high and just praising it for it's scary. For me, it's truly very, very scary.
It's one of those films that we have in the podcast that, again, goes back to this. It's human on human. It's not even supernatural, though some things that the humans are doing seem supernatural because it's so horrifying that you're like, these real people are scary.
There's no way that this person is as villainous, as vile, as unhumane. I personally haven't met someone like that.
But there are those people out there, which makes it even scarier.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then following along with, like, we're going with Dakota Fanning's life essentially the whole time, and you're riding with her. It is a tough life. It's a rough one. And it's hard to watch. And I completely understand what you're saying of like, I don't want to watch this movie again, but it was so good in what it was saying and about a topic that most people don't want to talk about. Like we talked about in that episode that movie wasn't marketed a lot. I don't remember when it came out at all.
I don't remember it either.
But it's got Guy Pearce, Dakota Fanning, Kit Harington, those are high-billed actors. But I think it went under the radar because of what it was talking about, which makes people very uncomfortable. Pedophilia and child abuse, which are things that we should be talking about, but the mainstream does not want to talk about that stuff.
And it was also by a religious leader as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I think that's probably
very problematic too.
Nowadays people still don't want to talk about that. And so much has come out about that stuff.
We gotta talk about it.
And
that was my case about giving it a really good score, is that yes, it is really hard, but we need to understand that these things do happen. And for some people, if they need to see something like this in order for it to like really register, I think it's an important film, and it was done very, very well, that I enjoyed myself.
I'm really glad that you brought it up because I think it's an important one to talk about. I really
It ain't your top 3 though.
It's not my top 3.
I knew it.
Number 3, I am gonna have to give it to Opera.
Oh.
Dario Argento.
Yeah.
But I know what your motherfucking number 1 is.
Well, okay, let's wait. Let's wait.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay,
give the folks some anticipation.
I know you know. Well, of course you know.
I know.
But I really enjoyed Opera. First of all, giallo horror, Italian horror. Just for me, I absolutely love that style of just like this kind of almost like hyper reality that we are set in inherently in giallo horror. And it just services like awesome colors, awesome wild shots, characters doing insanely crazy things, and villains doing horrifying, but also cinematically pleasing things. Like the idea of this serial killer taping the needles under someone's eyes to make sure that they never shut their eyes so they can then be forced to watch the serial killer kill someone else.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Striking.
Crazy
Awful.
idea. And effective. And eyes become such a crazy important thing in that movie. And eye torture is definitely something that I feel visceral feelings about.
I haven't even seen it, and it freaks me out.
Yeah. So just that movie from like top to bottom was super effective for me, and I fucking love Dario Argento. I do.
Yeah.
He's my boy.
He's your baby boy.
What did I say? Dario doing Dario.
Dario doing Dario. That's our merch coming up.
Yeah, it's a t-shirt I'm gonna make. Dario doing Dario. Because he was. He was.
Yeah.
So number 2.
Number two,
Leslie. What do you think?
I am
Dreamcatcher is pretty good.
Bleh.
What?
Oh,
No.
that had
It's a Stephen King
negative
one.
Scores.
Morgan Freeman.
No.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to watch the Deadlights podcast to find out what you really think.
Ooh,
That's why Tim's here.
connection.
Frog
My second one is going to be Black Bear.
Black Bear.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza vehicle.
Oh yeah, she did fantastic in that movie. I think the conscious decision to make the first half be absolutely different from the second half in the most filmmaking way possible. The choices I made was so incredibly well thought out that I want to give this my second slot.
Fair.
Because I was left fucked up.
Whoa.
I thought the film had the aesthetic of one thing. I adapted it. I accepted it. We're in this world. And then all of a sudden it just changed on me. And I have to all over again analyze everybody that I was told this is how this person is moving throughout this world. And I was just like, I don't know what's real. I do not know what's real.
And then, yes, it did completely change every character in that movie, but it also, all the characters in the second half were exactly the same that we saw in the first half. So it wasn't even that big of a character change. It was just putting the character traits onto different actors, literally different actors, because it was
Tim.
It was
I will
definitely see it because it's a filmmaker movie because it's about filmmakers. So it becomes so much more about making a film and what it takes to make a film and toxic relationships. It's a lot.
Oh my god!
It was one of those movies that it was one of the movies that we watched where I was like, this is completely different than what I thought it was going to be when we went into it. I didn't know, and wow, subverted my expectations.
Yes. If you want to see this film based on just acting, please do.
Oh yeah,
it is. And then if you want a well-written script that like has, you know, sections and shit like that, see it. It is so good. It's not not a typical horror in the sense that there's a lot of violence going on. It is just psychologically fucked up.
It sounds
Mind
like
games.
it's like when people say hell is other people. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know, but it sounds like it's kind of like making her uncomfortable around the people that she's been around for a while. I don't know if that's right, but
I don't know what is right.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I don't know
Interesting.
anything about anyone.
Yeah, because yes, but also
Maybe no.
maybe no.
It's like, well, I mean,
It's
these
wild.
people are familiar, but like, I don't think
'Cause
I really know who they are.
Because at the end of the movie, there's also the question of what was real.
Oh, so
They set up this thing of like, we don't even know what part of the movie was actual reality. So
I want to see that movie now.
yeah, it's a wild one.
And Aubrey Plaza's been doing some great.
And
shit.
Aubrey Plaza,
Mhm.
fucking White Orchid or
White Orchid.
Wide working.
Mike
White
Black,
Lotus.
Mike Black's White Orchid.
White Black.
Mike Mac.
Well, what is your second one?
All right.
Yeah, Sammy boy.
Well, my second one has got to be The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
The one that we most recently watched.
Did I ruin it? Did I ruin it with my not perfect score? And that's
No.
I know. Okay.
It's
I
okay.
just know what his first one is.
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
But Silence of the Lambs, I think is, I mean, it was, I believe, the only one that I gave a 5 in the last 10 that we reviewed. But to me, it really was like technically like a perfect film almost because of the cinematography and the acting and the themes that they were talking about, all of it working together so well that by the end of the film, I felt completely satisfied in everything that they presented. And I could walk away from that movie being like, I am fully satisfied with that movie. And also the watchability of the movie is very high. So it's hard for me to not put it up there really high. Like it. I like it a lot.
A lot.
Oh.
Well, to transition real quick,
Here we go.
my first one is
What?
The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. That's my first one.
Cool.
For all the things we've talked about.
Yeah. Not too
Um,
long. I mean, A few weeks ago.
Oh yeah. What?
Not too long ago. Yeah. This is live.
Yeah. We're going live.
Live.
But yeah, I watched this movie more than all the other ones in this list.
Gotcha.
I want to say I've watched it 3 to 4 times.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, its watchability is good. Every time you watch it, I mean, I discovered more and more and more
Yeah.
about this film, because it is a little heady, that you have to be paying attention to every single word. And its acting is impeccable.
Anthony Hopkins.
Impeccable.
I mean, he's already been lauded so much for that performance, but whoa.
Whoa. Absolutely. Because of this film, I watched it when I was young. This is who he is. I know that it's not, but like, he does such a good job. It's so eerie.
And Jodie Foster, my God.
Jodie Foster.
I mean,
too,
because Hannibal Lecter, obviously, like that's the character that we remember because of all his scenes, but he's not in every scene.
No.
Jodie Foster is in every single scene, and she is us. You know,
Yeah.
we are following her story. This is her story, and she just delivers it. So she's just such a great character to follow and so relatable. You
Well,
know?
she has 2 layers almost the whole entire film in which she has to have an initial reaction, a human reaction to like encountering and dealing with something so fucking heavy, and then yet having to mask that because that is her job. You know,
exactly,
is so incredible and hard. Because they're not just shooting for an hour or 2, they're shooting for fucking 8 to 16 sometimes. And for you to keep that and having to recall that feeling over and over and over again, that is what's hard.
And she goes to some pretty deep and dark places too. So to do that on cue, on camera, consistently, and like have it, but also not show it, but show it just enough so that we experience it.
Just enough. We don't have to go all the way. What's her name? Irma?
Clarice?
In the Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Oh,
the mom.
Toni Collette.
Irma. No, not Irma. Toni Collette, and her having to deliver that, like, I was her mother, you know, and you fucking killed her to her own son, to deliver that over and over and over again. I hope it didn't take too many takes, but also just seeing how all that process works. And for it to even be the 30th, you know, take, and you have to deliver that chilling, bone-chilling fucking act is incredible.
Yeah.
So that's what's in my top.
Fair. All right, Leslie, what's my number 1?
It Follows.
Nope.
Oh,
nope. Wow, this whole time you thought it was gonna be It Follows?
Yeah.
Dreamcatcher.
No, Dreamcatcher? Wow.
Come on, y'all. What do I love
Wait,
so
wait,
much?
wait.
I already talked about it.
Oh,
Dreamcatcher.
sorry, It.
No. Kill Baby Kill. Come on, y'all. That movie was fucking awesome. That movie was sick. It's giallo horror. Mario Bava, who is another main stage in giallo horror, Italian director.
I'm gonna cry right now.
Cool. And
Yes.
the movie, to me, again, is one of these movies on this list where going into it, I had a very kind of skewed perspective of what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just like a 80s, 70s slasher or whatever. But it was so much more than that. Like, first of all, the cinematography was incredible because we're dealing with giallo horror. Colors were awesome. The camera movements were incredible. Like, how they presented the creepy ghost girl was awesome. Like, and then
I had totally forgotten what it was until you said that.
And then
creepy doll.
all of that on top of, like, we're dealing with grief. Like, this movie is all about actually how you deal with grief and the dangers of if you don't deal with grief, and this kind of nature versus nurture thing. And I was like, oh my God, this movie is so much more rich than I thought it was going to be. So that's why I put it at the top of my list, is because I think this movie, it's called Kill Baby Kill, which at the face of it, I think a lot of people might not take it that seriously. But I wanted to put it at the top of my list because it should be taken seriously as a film, because it is a well-made movie. It is a well-made film, and Mario Bava should be praised for this filmmaking. I loved it.
Damn, you talked so high about It Follows that I
Yeah.
thought that's why you were gonna rate it.
And
Because-
not even to crack your top 3 too.
I know.
I know. I guess I
Aesthetic.
don't
I
know
went.
you enough.
I went with the personally aesthetically pleasing movies.
You
know?
did. You did.
Yeah. So
I can see that. I can see that.
that's
Yeah.
what I got.
Mhm.
That's what I got. I
Damn.
want everyone who is listening to this episode to go back and watch every single one of these
Yeah.
films
Yeah,
that we
absolutely.
watched in these first 10, because they all have value. And though we didn't like some of them as much as others, I do think that each of them has their own value in cinema.
Yep.
So, and
Agree.
you can find inspiration in anything. So please go watch any of these. And we got 10 more coming for you. Definitely. We got 10 more.
Damn.
I'm excited to see what comes next.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Who knew we would be here?
Tim,
I
thanks,
did.
thanks for joining us on this,
Yeah.
this journey.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for sitting in.
Always.
Yeah.
Where can
Love
we
it.
find you?
Well, you can follow my personal page at Kalamazoo Parakeet on Instagram. It's probably down below. I'm not going to spell it out again. Froglung at Froglung on Instagram. The Spotify playlists are Musical Chairs compilation. It's really great. We are crowdfunding for new chairs, so please go to indiegogo.com/froglung and check me out at the Carlton, Ritz Carlton, as my water sommelier. I just started, so I'm very excited. I would love to take care of you. We have water from Idaho from 2011. It's a great year.
And my name
and
is
then,
Leslie. You
the
can follow.
AirPods,
AirPods.
Earbuds
Yeah.
podcast.
There's an Airbud
The Apple's
podcast called
so
AirPods.
upset with you
don't
about.
really. Yeah, we need to come up with a new name. So if you would leave your names in the comments,
Mm-hmm.
please help us out, and they can be trademarked.
Um,
Copyright.
My name is Color Me Leslie. No, that's not my name. My name is Leslie. You can follow me at Color Me Leslie.
And me at BP
There you
Pritchie
go.
T. And us at the Deadlights Pod.
Deadlights.
Also, check out Playground Social, which is the studio that we're recording this at. But until next minisode,
Let's get mini spooky.